Harry's deportation from the U.S. is now confirmed. Where shall Hasbird go? Prince Harry, the former royal who left the UK for the US with his wife Meghan Markle after the shocking interview with Oprah Winfrey, is facing a serious threat. He faces possible deportation from the U.S. after a court ordered the release of immigration records which could reveal that he lied about drug use on his visa application. Harry's team, in a desperate attempt to save him from being deported from the country, confessed that Harry, in his memoir Spare, in which he admitted to using cocaine, marijuana, and psychedelic mushrooms. Harry's deportation drama is making headlines and sparking outrage that began when a conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, filed a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security demanding to see Harry's immigration records to verify whether he disclosed drug use in his visa application. The think tank argued that Harry's drug use, which he revealed in his memoir Spare, could make him ineligible for a U.S. visa and that he would be deported if he later ignored it. The case was heard by a federal judge in New York, who ruled in favor of the think tank and ordered DHS to release Harry's immigration records or move forward with the Freedom Act request by information. The judge said Harry's immigration record was of public interest and it was possible that Harry had broken immigration laws and received preferential treatment because of his royal status. DHS tried to block the request, citing privacy concerns, appealed to the judge's decision, but was unsuccessful as the High Court upheld the ruling. DHS was then left with no options other than complying with the order and turning over Harry's immigration records to the investigative agency. Harry's immigration records made public last week show that Harry had indeed lied about his drug use on his visa application. Harry ticked the no box when asked if he had ever used or been addicted to any illegal drugs. Despite his confession and his memoir, except that he had taken drugs several times as a teenager in England and as an adult, Harry also made no mention of drug use at all. His identity in interviews with immigration officers who issued him a visa based on his background, his answers, and his documents. Harry's lies being exposed by his immigration records could have serious consequences for him, as it could lead to his visa being revoked and his deportation from the U.S. According to the USA, under immigration law, lying or omitting important information on a visa application is grounds for inadmissibility and removal. Harry could also face criminal charges and penalties for fraud and for perjury. The team, aware of the severity of the situation, decided to take a drastic and quite risky step. They admitted that Harry, in his memoir Spare, had actually claimed to use drugs in his life. They claimed that Harry fabricated drug use in his memoir to make his story more dramatic and more compelling, and to increase his book sales and media rights. They said Harry regretted his lies and he apologized to his family and fans for deceiving them. Harry's team hopes that they can admit that Harry lied in his memoir. They can save him from deportation that way, because that they can argue that he did not lie in his visa application and that he is still eligible for a U.S. visa. They also hope that they can salvage Harry's reputation and credibility and convince the public and media that Harry is not a drug user, but a victim of one's own ambition and creativity. However, Harry's team admission backfired, as it did not help Harry's case and it made it even worse. The judge who reviewed Harry's immigration record in his memoir said that Harry's confession was not credible and that it was a desperate and pathetic attempt to avoid deportation. The judge said that Harry's memoir is not fiction, but rather a memoir, and it must be based on facts and truth. The judge said Harry's admission was an insult to the court and the public, and that it showed Harry was a liar. The judge then ruled that Harry had violated immigration laws and that he should be deported from the U.S. The judge also ordered Harry to pay damages and legal fees to the consulting organization and issue a public apology. In the retraction, the judge said that Harry had abused his royal privileges and visa status and that he had harmed his country and his family.